Oh, yeah. The Boston Red Sox get a win today in the rubber match of the Cleveland series behind David Ortiz's 4-for-4 day. Almost hits for the cycle. We're going to talk all about that the week past and the week ahead this week on Red Sox Wrap 360.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Whoa! Bring it.
Tarzan boy.
Wow.
What a great tune.
Just swinging on in there for
What a
another
great
edition of Red Sox Wrap 360 alongside Dennis Harris. I'm Mike Conley. How's everybody doing? Another week in the books of Red Sox baseball. Up and down week 3-3, but we'll take it.
We'll take it. It's tough to top last week, but, you know.
That it is. But a little trip through the AL Central. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, look at going in, I guess Kansas City, you know, their record wasn't that good, but they were starting to play better baseball.
They're heating up, man, you know.
So, I mean, to drop 2 out of 3 on the road to the World Series champs,
Right.
That's a forgivable offense.
Absolutely.
And then, but to come right back and play a team that is also playing well, Tito's Tribe, and take 2 out of 3 from them in the Fens.
And then on
That's
a high
big.
note.
That's
Nothing
big.
wrong there.
And then on a high note.
Absolutely.
Woo! I'll tell you, that song got me pumped.
Tarzan boy. It's tough to come off of that.
Yeah. Woo! What do you think about David Ortiz? I mean, the guy doesn't whiff a cycle for his entire career, and now he's almost got 2
I mean,
here in
they
the
should have
past,
just
like 2
gave
weeks.
him that. I feel like they should have just.
Well, that ball. Did you see the triple?
Yeah, it was brutal.
Oh, man.
Just robbed.
Yeah. Gang,
Mother
if you
Nature.
didn't catch the game today, so Papi's up in the 8th, needing a triple for the cycle. You know, he's already got his bomb, his double and single, obviously, because you guys know what a cycle is. Hello. And he hits a rocket shot to like center, a little bit right center. It goes to the triangle, which is where you want to hit triples, especially if you're not fleet of foot. And it bounces up and just clears the padding on the center field wall by about maybe an inch and a half, and therefore hits off the hard wall and bounces into the pen. Whereas if it just went 2 inches lower, it would have hit the padding and might have deadened, gave a more true bounce down.
Right.
And, you know, Papi was going for it too.
Oh, yeah, he was legging it out.
And your boy Clay Buchholz was cheering him on right there. He was
I'd
locked
actually
in.
like to see that.
I did like
2
to see
weeks
it.
in a row I've been seeing some good cheerleading on him. It's like if you can't produce on the field, might as well bring it in the dugout.
You know? But isn't he showing signs? I mean, he didn't have a terrific start the other night.
Right.
But he still, I think, gave up 3 earned runs in 6 innings. They call that a quality
Which is,
start in
yeah, it's a
business.
quality start. And, I mean, he's kind of plagued by the bad inning, you know, bug right now. So hopefully he can turn that around. But
Yeah.
we still wait.
Yeah, we'll put old Clay on the back burner. There's happier things to talk about.
There sure are.
Mr. JBJ, Jaggy Bradley Jr., extending his hitting streak to 27 today.
Is that any good?
It's pretty good. This guy is
good.
locked in.
Yeah, he sure is, Mike.
He was getting no help earlier in the week when I think we talked about this last week where Farrell started messing around with him in the lineup.
Yeah, bumped him up again today to 6, and he delivered again.
Well, at least that's smart because now at least he's got T. Shaw hitting behind him.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
he was getting walks early in the week when he had the likes of Hannigan or
Yeah, that gets a
Swihart
little
or,
nerve-wracking.
You know, those guys.
It
hitting
does
behind him.
get nerve-wracking. There were a few nerve-wracking outings there. You're pulling for the kid to keep it alive. That game where he waited it out to the 9th inning to hit the single to keep
Oh yeah, that's
keep hope
nervous.
alive, yeah.
I kind of like the Friday night game when he hits a rocket
Yeah,
shot his first
just
time.
get it
up,
out of the
just
way.
Get it out of the way. You know,
out of the park, out of the way.
You know.
Absolutely, man.
Not to be overshadowed, a little smaller hit streak. One Mr. Xander Bogaerts.
The X-Man.
The X-Man.
Quietly going about his business as he tends to do.
He's at 16 games right now. I think he had 3 more hits today. So I believe that puts him in an AL leading 63 hits for the year so far.
The kid is doing
Kid
his
is doing it.
proverbial
If he
thing
does
right
not
now.
get his first All-Star nod this year, there is something rotten in Denmark.
Denmark. Copenhagen.
Wherever you are that was watching an All-Star game without Xander Bogaerts, it's rotten there.
Yeah, it seems like he's well on his way to big things. I mean, the kid's looking like a premier Major league talent.
And he's just. I mean, he's such a professional. You know, the one thing he had to work on was defense. He worked on that. He came back with better defense last year. That has sustained this year. I think he's got one error all season so far from a shortstop position. That's ridiculous. And, hitting 330, almost 340, I think, after today. And it's just, he's just insane because hitting average, and now he's got it showing a little bit of pop. It's like, oof.
It's a good thing.
It is.
It's a pretty good situation there.
Pretty good thing. And another guy who's heating up, who's not one of our 300 hitters, even though this lineup is littered with them.
Oh my God.
Is Mookie Betts.
Mook.
And it looks like he's getting in one of those. He showed a few, times this year we'll have 2 good games, 3 good games in a row, but hasn't really had that stretch where he's just a monster for like 2 weeks. We could be on the advent of such a 2-week period.
The pop is definitely coming.
It's for real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this kid, he's 30-30, and 30-30 men don't grow on trees anymore. They don't.
There's a lot to be excited about. These young kids are just continuing to produce. It's pretty special. I mean, and then you couple that with this storybook thing happening with Ortiz, and it's just, there's a lot to like. There are a few concerns, though. I mean, after last week, after we were on such a high note last week, I started, as a Red Sox fans want to do, I started
looking to poke holes in that.
Thinking, gee whiz, if we were heading into the postseason now, which, certainly we're not, but what is the big concern? And obviously it remains to be the rotation. I mean, can these guys produce 10, 11, 12 runs every game? We're going to need somebody to fill that role. We're going to presume that D. Price is going to just continue to get better and better, sharper and sharper, as he's looking to do. And I don't know, though. Who's gonna step up?
Well, I mean, I think Price is, I mean, ever since pitching coach, Dustin Pedroia, pulled him aside and just, pointed out a few things. He's been great. So keep it up, Dusty, and keep it up, Price. But so it's finally good to see him, being his lockdown self, the guy we thought we were getting when we signed him to 7 years, $217. And, so it's good to see that. I think there's a bunch of guys kind of vying for that number 2 spot, really. You know, I think right now I would give it to like kind of more the guy who's been there, Porcello.
Yeah.
And I love writing the 3. Like if I was reshuffling the rotation right now, it'd be Price, Porcello, Wright, Buchholz, Kelly.
Right.
And I'd be tempted to put Buchholz in 5 after Kelly's last start, but Kelly's a guy, he's never thrown more than 138 innings in a year or something. That was last year with the Sox.
Right.
And so I still want to see him in that 5th role, where we can kind of maybe skip him a start, but I'm not that concerned about it, just because, as long as guys are giving game efforts and are battling out there, enough to get through the regular season, it's like come to the postseason, you can go to a 3-man rotation, no problem.
Absolutely. You just got to hope that Wright keeps dealing, and I mean the kid is, like we've said, time and time again, the kid's looking like our best pitcher day in and day out. He's certainly been the most consistent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and Porcello, though, you would think might be more likely to get the nod in the 2 slot, just because he's kind of, on paper the kid looks the part. He's more of a traditional guy that's gonna bring it in the postseason. The knuckler's always a roll of the dice, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the taboo, I guess, the knuckler. It's like I like having it in the rotation.
Right.
I like having that knuckleball there. I don't like him so much as number 2. It was the same thing with Timmy Nux, even when he was that year where he was sickening, like 95 or something, where he was like
16,
3rd in the AL Cy Young. It's like I was like, 3rd style.
Yeah, 3rd looks good. 3rd will do.
I'm also kind of like hoping maybe somebody emerges and then we can have Wright in the bullpen in the playoffs.
It could happen.
To have that little
flexibility,
that dancing knuckler to be, available on a daily basis, is something that attracts me. Especially because I think Buchholz is, despite of him being the one that's rubbish in the rotation right now, he can't go to the pen.
He can't. He can't.
Takes too long to warm up.
Can he go to the minors?
Well, I think we touched upon it last year, and we're both in agreement that this has got to be a DL stint for him. Just get yourself right. And that's another guy that's never thrown over 190 innings. He even came close to that once, I think. So,
It looks like, as you kind of hit on it last week, that these things seem to play out as they're intended, or at
Right.
least they have a way of working themselves out. It does seem like, barring any great turnaround from Clay, that with Erod, hopefully that now that he's back on course after he's got one more start now.
Well, they had that setback,
Right.
with the knee.
Right.
Now he's wearing a knee brace, so I would rather him get
enough time down there.
So if that's 2 starts down there, that's fine. 3 starts,
right, hopefully, and that'll give you enough time. I think we're just giving Clay that leeway. Okay, buddy, we keep running you out there.
Exactly. 1 or 2 more starts.
Yeah, just avoid that big inning. Give us a real great look, and I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out from there. That it almost that presents another question of who's going to be the odd man out. But if it's not Clay, then we think it's probably
Well, if Clay has 2 good starts, then
Right.
it's probably going to be I don't know, Kelly. I mean, Kelly has experience as a bullpen guy, but he threw 6 2/3 no hit.
You don't think it's right? You don't think it'll be right?
It could be, but I mean, what message are you sending to guys?
I know.
When
He just
it's
seems the
like,
most flexible.
I know, but it's like you started off the season, much to the laud of your entire fan base, of saying it's going to be, performance based. You are in there regardless, and it's like, so if that's the case,
Right.
it's an impingement for old Clay. I think for a couple of weeks, and then see how it shakes out.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But it's about giving these guys a break during the year, even if it has to be a phantom DL stint. I mean, that's what it's there for. It's a long season. There's no Cal Ripkins in that clubhouse.
There is no Cal Ripken in this clubhouse.
So
True that.
Oh yeah,
Tarzan boy is still on my mind.
yeah. Do you want to hum a little bit?
Such a great tune.
I want to give a shout out to the recent elects to the Red Sox Hall of Fame. How about it?
How about it is right.
Some guys we love. Obviously, the captain, Mr. number 33, Tech.
Jason Varitek.
Jason Varitek. And speaking of the Knuckler, Timmy Nux, as we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. Honorable mention to Larry Lucano, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Honorable mention.
I mean, honorable mention, huh? You don't like those, you don't like the monster seats, huh?
They turned it around. They did some big things.
They did.
They did. They commercialized the whole enterprise. But, hey, the results speak for themselves.
So here's my question. That doesn't mean you get your number retired, right? So you get into the Hall of Fame, that's one thing.
Correct.
And now number retired, that's a different thing.
Right.
So Boggs, who's getting the number
Coming
up the end
Thursday, I think, yeah.
Oh, is that what it's Thursday?
I think so.
Okay. 26 will be up in the rafters. Is he already in the Sox Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Let's do a quick research as we continue to gab here.
Do a quick research there, buddy.
A little bit. It's a good question. Have they loosened? It seems like they're all of a sudden the numbers in the rafters. They're not rafters in the.
No.
What are those called? There, those. Metal,
facade?
Facade. The numbers in the facade have been growing rapidly. I feel like is
that
years.
the proper terminology? Facade?
I don't know. We're going
to
with
get Paulie on the horn.
They're going
that's
with
a construction term. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So
yes,
that'll be
Boggs was inducted in 2004 into the Red Sox Hall of Fame.
Okay. Because I was gonna say they're really making him wait a long time,
right?
Because it's that would be something. It's like, okay, you played in the Yankees uniform. We're just gonna make you taste it for a little bit longer.
I mean,
we'll wait till you're on the deathbed.
Because of that riding the horse and all that. I think
boy.
added a couple of years to it. I think.
I wonder if he'll recollect some of his best moments with the Red Sox. Maybe he'll recollect the time he drank 81 beers on a cross-country flight to Seattle.
Rumor has it, yeah.
Man.
Pretty good with the.
I want to hear about
Pretty
that
good with
one.
the stick. Pretty good with the ladies. Pretty good with the 30-pack.
I remember seeing pictures of Margot Adams, so I might argue with that second one.
Either way.
Either way. So how about that Joe Kelly? I mean, the kid was lighting it up in the minors.
Right. And light it
on
up
his
again.
rehab.
He did. Yeah. I mean,
he did 6 2/3 no hit.
The kid's got good stuff. He seemed to certainly be in total command the other night. So certainly we welcome that. We could use if the pitching staff. I mean, this offense right now is looking historically good.
Yes.
Who knows if that's you got to presume it's going to tail off a bit. But yeah, we got to hope that if the rotation can kind of turn a corner for the better. We got Price looking better. Hopefully, we're waiting for Clay to turn around. Porcello's been pretty dang serviceable. So we'll see. Joe Kelly is definitely a welcome addition.
Yes.
Erod on the mend.
Yeah, the one thing that I was encouraged by coming into the season now is a little bit of a worry spot was that even if these guys do falter, I was encouraged by the depth, or what I thought was depth, we had
Always
down in
the way.
Pawtucket of those three lefties,
Right.
Owens, Elias, and Johnson.
Right.
And none of those guys are really lighting
Not
the
so
world on
much.
fire.
Yeah,
down there.
yeah, not so much.
So that's a little bit
remains to
disconcerting.
be seen,
So
yeah.
I'm hoping like these guys that are up there now, these five plus Eduardo
Yeah.
are going to be enough to get it done. 'Cause
Hoping so, too.
I do think that those guys, could use the seasoning down in old AAA. While we're speaking about the farm, just a little props out there for Andrew Benintendi, who got promoted to AA last week.
Absolutely.
So he's going up there. And I really expect him to rise through the ranks pretty quick. I mean, he's a 4-year guy at Arkansas. He's
blazing the
absolute
trail,
stud.
yeah.
He's blazing the trail. And I
about
saw an
Moncada, is
article
he?
about potentially him helping this year.
I've also heard
I-
such rumblings.
Yeah.
Late. We'll see. Let's not put the cart before the horse.
We're
you
going to
know?
cross that bridge when we come to it, so to speak. Moncada, however, I think they're just trying to.
gonna slow
Benintendi,
roll.
I don't see him being a long-time Red Sox. He looks like a chip
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
if I've ever seen a chip.
Maybe mid-season
But
when we get that
the
true
thing,
number
the
2.
thing is, it's like, left field, old Brock Holt, going on the 7-day DL this week with the concussion, that they tracked it back to him diving for a ball, I guess, the week previous, and like kind of banging his face when he was at second.
Sure.
It was a pretty good hit, so that could be it.
Sure.
So he's got to go on that, but he's playing a great left field defensively, so I
Absolutely.
would like to see him back up there as an option. And what do you think about the whole Swihart thing? I mean, he's up here now.
I mean, you gotta take your hat off to the kid. He just coming in there to be the opening day catcher, and now he's out in left field playing a pretty solid out. I mean, and that's a tricky left field out there with the monster behind you. He's playing, pretty good D. The kid's athletic as heck, as they say on the radio.
There you go.
And
Keep it G.
you definitely got to take your hat off to the kid for his effort.
Yeah, I mean, I just think when you look at the lineup and like everybody's just crushing it.
Right.
If at the deadline, like you're a guy who likes to make moves, as we all know Dave Dombrowski is, where does he look at as his holes, or a place where he can increase production?
Right.
He's already knows he's not going to mess with defense up the middle.
Right.
Luckily, JBJ, Bogarts, Pedroia, and Vasquez are all pretty
Right.
good offensive seasons. Not so much Vasquez, but he's such a monster defensively. You got to have him in there. And did you see that play he made? Was it today on the bunt?
That
Where
was
it went
it was
super high,
super high,
and then he
yeah.
barehanded it. Was it yesterday?
That was today,
Was that today?
and yeah,
It
the
wasn't
enthusiasm.
a slow runner either.
The enthusiasm you gotta love too. That kid's a fiery individual back there.
That was
you
like
know?
Lindor or something. That was not.
Yeah,
Oh man.
the dude's a savage back there. You gotta hope that the offense comes for him, but
Yeah, I mean, but if he's a guy who hits 250 and has 10 homers, maybe can have a 320 on base percentage. That's
right,
huge.
we'll take it.
And he is. He doesn't give away at bats up there.
Not at all,
Even
yeah.
if he's only hitting 250, the guy's seeing a bunch of pitches. So
Absolutely.
he's a good guy to have
On your ball club.
Well,
But yeah, I'm interested. When old Hannigan went down with a contusion there the other night, the hand contusion, it kind of got my my brain firing, thinking, I wonder if Swihart. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic, just having a guy who, not too many teams have this outfielder / catcher.
Right.
You might have your emergency guy, but it's an interesting situation. We'll see how it all shakes out. I think it looks like Hannigan's no big deal day to day, but
right.
if anything were to arise.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, good to have that versatility. I don't know how much. I don't know if I like it. I was reading, I think it was Over the Monster the other day. I think Ben Buchanan had an article on there, as he has often. He's got a lot of good articles on there. Both of us are very gassy today. I'm just choking back burps, just left and
It
right.
seemed like just you, right?
No, I see you doing it too.
Speak for
I'm
yourself.
just talking over you, just saving you. You on in turn are
Tarzan
not
boy.
doing the
Tarzan
same.
boy.
When I go, yeah, just give me a little Tarzan boy for a second. But what was I talking about?
Anyone got a segue,
Going to
or,
burps? Yeah, there's no segue. there.
Burps. Burpee.
What was I talking about?
We're talking about Swihart. You
Oh,
don't like
yeah,
it. You don't
Swihart.
like.
Well,
The
I mean, the
versatility.
guy is. I mean, if he tends to be a chip, that chip is much more valuable if this kid's a catcher as
Right.
opposed to a catcher / outfield. I mean, I guess it's good versatility and all that stuff, but the reason we sent him down is like so he could work on his catching and become a better catcher.
Right.
That hasn't changed. He hasn't become a better catcher. He's up here because we're in like a, and he wasn't tearing it up down there either.
Right.
So it's like, why not bring up an outfielder? Do we have
Yeah,
nobody
it's-
else?
it's
down?
interesting.
And
It
it,
is.
just speaks volumes of what you think about Rusney.
That's certainly
$72
the,
million mistake, evidently.
Yikes! I
That
mean,
they're willing
that's
to admit.
I mean, we're lucky that things are going so well right now up top because that is a big glaring error that has not really. It's kind of that and Sandoval, those kind of things. It's nice when you have the luxury of just kind of sweeping those things under the rug. Don't ask, don't tell, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when Dave didn't bring him in.
Right.
Do you think in like talks around Yawkey Way, he refers to him as last regime Rusney?
It's quite possible.
It's quite possible he does.
It is quite possible.
Because that's the only reason why he's not up.
Yeah, it's certainly.
I mean, this would be like an ideal city, like 7 days. It's like leave Swihart down, let him get more catch experience. Let Rusney
Right.
come up for a cup of coffee. He's only going to hit versus righties. Lefties
Right.
is still going to be Chris Young. It's
Right.
like, why not give the guy a week to see if he can earn his keep?
Yeah,
I mean, he's hitting 500 on the season, 2 for 4.
What's the hidden message there? I mean, is there more to the story? You think?
It's not very hidden.
It's not.
I mean, as far as the message to Rusney, it's you're not very good. You're not a major league player.
Hey,
That's the
guy, we don't
message.
like you that much.
Yeah. Just in case you were wondering, let's just clear it up here.
Right.
We're going to bring up a catcher to play left field.
But we have hit on it. I mean, it is nice to be a fan of a ball club that's not going to play these guys they pay just because they're paying them.
Yeah.
If you're not going to produce, you're going to be taking some ABs down in that minor league ball,
Performance-based league.
This is true.
It was interesting today. I caught some after the game. Old friend Petey was on Pedro Martinez.
PD number one, yeah.
Petey number 1.
I don't know. That's a whole other segue. We don't need to go down. But I felt I was,
He's Petey.
He's Petey, yeah. Pedroia.
Pedroia. Huh.
It was just
He's
like they
Laser
could
Show.
never come up with Laser Show. That's his
Yeah.
the name, his name for himself. But I don't know about that. That's way too far back
Dustin.
in the past now. Dusty.
But yeah, so Petey was saying, he's like, oh, I talked to David, about coming out, if he's gonna, and he's like, I'm convinced he's not gonna do it, but he's like,
play another year?
Play another one.
I mean, if you throw money at a problem like that, it seems like it might go away.
Man, 1 year, $30 million deal. Why wouldn't he want that?
What's he get this year? 20 and some odd?
Yeah, I don't even think it's 20. That's what's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, who could have thunk it? I mean, it's just getting silly right now.
It is. And he actually had a lull there, like a 5-6 game lull, like end of last week into this week a little bit, and then he just snapped out of that. I was thinking, is this going to be like 3-week lull? No, turns out he's just going to start mashing.
Not so much.
4 for 4 today, sickening.
Yeah, I mean, just missing the cycle, just breaking your heart out there. The guy's got
Out
wheels.
there.
He's got wheels for days.
Travis Shaw showing signs of coming back to earth a little bit. He's been slumping a little bit. Had 2 hits, I think, Saturday night, which was a good coming out party. But yeah, 0 for 4 today, which was tough. But
It is, yeah.
2 more hits for Mookie today. Up to 279. He'll be at 300 before you know it.
He's coming around.
We'll have 7 guys up there at the 300.
I mean, yeah, the right now this Red Sox offense, just a few quick stats at you. Currently leading the major league in hits, doubles, batting average, OPS, extra base hits, and also some other mumbo jumbo about how few guys have gotten caught on stolen base attempts. So
Oh, yeah.
pretty good season so far. Just past the quarter pole here.
I'll say.
Yeah, I mean the offense has been historically good. So
what's the Sox record right now? Are they 25 and 15?
we are currently sitting at 27 and 17.
27 and 17. Right.
Orioles at 26 and 16.
I mean, that's the thing. Watch out for the Evil Empire, by the way. They've won 5 in a row.
They're almost at 500.
Now they're like one under 500.
Yes, exactly. 5.5 games back.
So keep an eye on that. They've been playing well since they got Chapman back.
That's the way those guys I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they do it either. I look at that starting staff. I want to take some cuts.
You probably should.
Hey-o.
How about your boy Mike Napoli out there?
You
mean,
got a
old
little
friend.
old friend.
Gee whiz.
I remember that time we were in that bar in New York, and you had a big beard, and the dude has his mind blown when they showed a close up of Mike Napoli, and then he looked at you and back at the screen, and then back at you. He's like,
I mean, I could probably
Mike Napoli's omnipresent.
take a major league minimum and strike out 8 times in a row. I'm pretty sure.
Did he
And
have
we-
that bad a series?
Eight strikeouts in a
consecutive?
row.
Wow.
Yeah, so
He did get the video tribute though.
you know, hey, you gotta like the guy. He's
He'll always be known from walking bar to bar shirtless after the World Series.
absolutely, you know. I
mean-
know a couple guys that have done that. They didn't seem to get as much
No,
love for it, you know.
no. They
So
will
we got
probably,
hammered, jumped behind the bar, took his shirt off, and then ran around the street high-fiving people.
Yeah,
Doesn't always work out that well for guys, but
that's it. Yeah.
if you bring home
Our
the
friends,
brass,
it ends a little differently.
it does,
Yeah,
yeah.
it ends with a phone call, so you can that one phone call,
The single phone
the
call.
single phone call. If you guys know about that,
They know. They be knowing. So, yeah, I'm still a little concerned about the rotation. I got to be honest. I'm just thinking long term. Obviously, it's.
who are you concerned about?
I'm just concerned
Just
about
Clay.
the. Well,
Oh, the
yeah,
durability?
but I'm concerned about the upside. Like, if you're going in with a truly dominant starter going into the postseason, you want to have your 1 and 2. I'm just worried. Obviously, you're going to have Price as your 1, but I'm saying
You would hope.
unless we're producing 12 runs on offense,
Hey man, could be Stevie Wright.
it could be.
Who knows?
But that's, I'm just looking for how this stuff's going to play out. We'll see. The offense, you got to think, is going to come back to earth. So I'm just trying to kind of project a little bit, and
They have kind of improved. I mean, they got off to a horrible start, the staff.
Right.
But like their ERA has been climbing. I mean, like as far as like their standings in the AL, I think
Yes.
they're kind of middle of the pack now, like
Right.
7th or 8th, as opposed to like the 15 or 14 they were hovering around with the first like 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
yeah.
Seems to be getting back into shape. And I obviously like what I've been seeing out of Porcello this year. I mean, Kelly is 10-0 in his last 10 decisions dating back to last August 1st.
No big deal,
with a ERA in the mid 3s. So I mean, and he's a guy that has always had that tag of like potential, and it just maybe this is just him starting to fill it.
Right.
Because I mean, right now in the ledger, that lackey for Kelly and Alan Craig, it just
Yikes.
is in the ledger as an absolute fleasing. And I mean, Lackey helped them win a title.
Where's Alan Craig right now?
Alan Craig, I think he's still in Pawtucket, ain't he? Is he?
I don't know where he is.
Boy.
We'll-
I wonder if Alan Craig could have been a PED guy. I mean,
Interesting.
do you think if he was just like, hey, I'm coming up on a contract here, I'll do a cycle, boom, boom, boom.
See what happens?
Be like second in the NL and RBIs, a couple years, and then sign a contract,
I mean,
get off it,
I think
hit 240 in the minus.
I think it's a possibility. If these, steroids McCarthyism happening
Doesn't
right here.
have a gigantic
Red Sox are
head,
up 3-6.
head though. But I mean, I think PEDs are just coming along.
They've evolved. Yeah, you can get by without your head expanding too wide, I think.
Guys like D. Gordon, skinny guys are going
Skinny guys with a bit of pop.
on.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Craig, not great. I was thinking about, revisiting mentally the Miley deal just because he's off to his
He's
ERA
off
is
to a
not
pretty
great. I
good
think he's at
start.
like 4.50 ERA.
His
and-
last start, which I think was either today or yesterday, he got dinged up a little bit, but his start previous to that was like a
Pretty good.
two-hitter.
Yeah,
I
and-
mean, he's been doing good. I mean, the one thing we may miss out of that guy is the fact that he eats innings.
Never gets hurt.
But now you're saying examine that deal because the guy we got back from, the big guy, was Carson Smith.
Right.
He's like, now he's on a DL again.
He's got a
With the
2-0
forearm
lead on the
situation.
DL. Yeah, the arm situation is nerve wracking.
Is it
with
elbow,
him.
forearm,
It's elbow. Yeah, and what I was reading is, it's not that anyone's too alarmed just yet, but it is kind of the whatever the technical name for what he has going on. It can be the precursor, to heading down the old road to Tommy John.
Oh boy.
And it can potentially shelf a guy for upwards of half a season. So
Half a season. If he's going to the TJ, that's
well,
12
no,
to
but
14
they're
months.
saying that pump the brakes on the TJ talk, but it still seems like it might be a fairly healthy stint. So, and his delivery being what it is, it kind of makes you nervous. It's not a traditional. He's not the kind of guy that has the frame and delivery that you're thinking this guy is put together. He's not gonna be heading to the DL anytime soon. He's more the type that seems like a very unnatural motion.
Maybe old Seattle knew just that. Figured, hey,
possible.
we might as well get a guy that's burly and can
Should
throw
we take
200
the 200
innings.
innings? Yeah, exactly. So
Oh, because that makes me sad. Because I mean,
You were
we need him.
pretty
man.
high on him. You were pretty high on
We
him.
need him.
We do.
We need you, Carson.
Koji imploded one game this week.
He
as
did.
Well. That was
And there's been
a tough one.
some instances this year where Koji, may not be Koji.
There's
so you
some
need an
signs,
insurance
yeah.
policy. And that insurance policy was supposed to be one Mr. Carson Smith.
Right.
Tozawa,
I love Taz. I
I
think
like
I
him
might
too.
be
But,
his number one fan. I don't know.
you know.
Besides, if he's married, maybe his wife. Mrs. Tozawa, with all due respect.
I love watching Craig Kimber, by the way, because that kid is just throwing lasers on the black.
Yeah, I think he hit
on the
3
outside
digits
corner.
today. No
It's
big deal.
nice to have that, to have these guys like going back to the dugout, just not only defeated in that at bat, but like just defeated in life.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of they see a pitch like that and they're just like, well, I
What
can't
do you want me
possibly
to do?
hit that.
What do you want me to
nor
do?
am I going to ever be able to hit that.
Right.
That is 99.
That's just science.
Doop, dotting it,
Yeah, it's science right there. You can't do anything with it.
So like not since Pedro really, not even Lester was that overwhelming to guys, but like Pedro, obviously had guys shaking their heads
He
as they
sure
go
did.
back. Oh, but yeah.
All-time
So
fifth.
so Kimbrel, he had those rocky outings early, but he's been good to go since then. And oh man, he's just a joy to watch pitch.
It's a joyous occasion.
Just a joy.
A true joy, Michael.
So I mean, I think if this is how you have to break it down here. You break it down into trimesters, if you will.
Okay.
2-month segments. So
Like a pregnancy. To give birth to the postseason.
So hopefully that'd be nice. I don't know what our female listeners would think of such a comparison, but so at the end of, I was thinking more schooling, but either way, hey. But so at the end of May, if you're 10 games over 500, that's delightful.
Absolutely.
Boom. Then you try and go 10 games over 500 for the next trimester.
Sure,
Boom.
sure.
So then you're hoping that by the end of July, trading deadline, you're 20 games over.
Nothing wrong with that.
By the end, you're 30 games over, and you're in the playoffs, baby. That's going to be good. 30 games over is
where
going to
you
be good
wanna
enough to win the division.
It's where you want to be. Yeah, I mean, I think we were touching on it last week as we were just oozing out praise for such a ridiculously productive week. But things just, it's the best case scenario for this team, I got to say. Can't be too disappointed with the way things have gone thus far. It feels like just yesterday we were talking about, will John Farrell be on the hot seat?
Oof.
And I don't think he's on the hot seat anymore.
Yeah.
It's my assessment.
Well, we were kind of like, we said at the 40 game mark, say he's 18 and 22. I don't know if you were here, but Kev Finn was like, he's gone if he's 18
I
and
remember
22.
I was here, yeah.
All right. How about this one? After 80 games, say he's 42 and 38.
Oof, that's a tough. No, I think he's safe.
Safe.
I think he's safe based off the start.
Safe
they've
the
had.
whole year. Just
Yeah,
doesn't
he's.
stop.
I like the guy,
All right.
Mike. I like him. I like John Farrell.
mean, he's, I think.
He's got a pretty big melon. Do you suspect him?
Gigantic.
Do you suspect him? Of
Oh,
that?
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, he's, I guess, like, as the old saying goes, is smoke with his fire, and he never had any smoke going his whole
Yeah,
career.
this is true.
So,
So,
they didn't
Big
really,
squash
they didn't
stuff.
really test him. Gigantic
Legendary.
head. He's probably an 8 head.
Pretty
Kevin
big.
Bench like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about his noggin, but I think he's great with the team. I think he's great with the players.
Yeah.
He's great with the media for what that's worth. But I think like his in game, and like anything else, you're going to get better at that the more
Right.
games you manage and all this stuff. But I mean, it's also, we're always picking apart with the benefit of hindsight too.
Of course.
So it's like, give the guy a break, will you?
yeah, there's always more to every story too. You don't know what's going on behind those closed doors, which is also kind of a little nod to the guy, keeping a lot of things close to the vest.
Absolutely.
It's part of the job.
That's huge. Part of Mookie's little tear here that he's getting off, it's, what was it, last night? Yeah, last night he had the Grand Slam.
No big deal.
In the 2-homer game.
Yeah,
And Remdog calls that shot.
called
Did
the
you-
shot.
Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, he's just basically, it'd be nice if Mookie
Yeah,
runs
I
into
mean,
one
he
here
was
and
taking
puts
a
us
lot
out.
of credit for it today.
He certainly
too.
was.
Yeah, he was.
I think that he wasn't initially, but then like Opie was so like all over him about, oh, you called it, you
Right,
called it. He
right.
just kind of got swept up in the.
How do you
every
feel
now
with
and
the
again
new
I do
dynamic?
call.
How do you feel with the new dynamic duo there? You missing your boy?
I'm missing my boy big time.
Tono.
I mean, Ovi's good and all, true professional. Guy
Yeah.
calls a great game and all that stuff. But I think he tries to like cut it all up with Remy, and it's just not there
yeah,
yet.
it's a little icy still. It's kind of, and I wonder almost if the Rem Dog's kind of giving him the cold shoulder a little bit. It's certainly no knock on Obi though. I mean, it's like the guy, like you said, he's a true pro, but it's like when your buddy gets.
I know.
Cut out
I
of the
don't see that
picture,
from
it's-
Rem Dog at all. What I see from Rem Dog is him towing the line because his games got cut, and he's on watch. That's how he looked at it.
He's had a rough couple of years, man. I mean, we don't need to go down that road.
That was
but-
the health and stuff, and obviously the stuff with his son. But
Right.
But now it just seems like a Ness and bitch slap.
Right.
They're just like, all right, you're not going on.
And Eck, you gotta love Eck, but he's a little,
no
he's
Red
a
Dog.
little rough.
You got,
He's a little-
Psycho Lions.
Seems like
it's
you could plug a lot of guys in
pretty
there.
much remember him as a White Sox. I mean,
Right,
that's when he pulled
right.
his pants down at first base. Jeez. The only thing I remember about Steve Lyons' Red Sox career is we were able to trade him for Tom Seaver.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much the best thing in his career that you could even say.
Stevie
He was
Lyons.
once traded for Tom Seaver. Granted, Tom Seaver was 42, but what are you
No
gonna
big
do?
deal.
No big deal. Yeah, so to get Mookie going is great, and now it's like we'll get Brock Holt back and everybody will be hitting.
I mean,
Be
everyone
insane.
is hitting,
I know.
which is literally.
Well, besides, yeah.
Except-
That's what's scary because now, like, when somebody has a downturn, it's going to be more than one guy, and it's like,
Right.
but we
Craziness.
talk about that every week. About that.
Absolutely. Yeah, JBJ streak, I think, is probably the top story, though, right now on the Sox. I mean,
Absolutely, and with Sox, the club record is like
34, Don
Don
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio. That's right.
Now, it's funny, thinking back, I could have sworn Nomar's...
Looking back.
Keep it going.
Oh, sorry.
No, keep it going. Yeah, Nomar. I thought Nomar had more than 30. So he had a 30 gamer.
Nomad did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaker with
Trish
30 gamer.
Speaker. Wow, you're going way back.
That's deep. Johnny Damon with a 29 spot.
Oof.
Looking
Johnny
pretty.
D. Maybe
looking
that's why
pretty
you
while
played
he
the
was at it.
Tarzan song coming in.
There we go.
Here's
30
your
minutes
segue.
later, the segue. Let's run this back a bit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, up next for JBJ is old Wade Boggs, who we've already touched upon.
Yeah. What's Wade's 28?
28, so he'll be hopefully Tuesday if all goes well.
Yeah. What are we looking at coming up here? We got a day off tomorrow.
We've got a day off
And then
tomorrow.
the Rocks come to town for 3,
That's correct, sir.
and then we are going to Baltimore.
Let's see what you got here. Yeah, we got Rocks, and we're at the Jays. Then we're
At the Jays, and then
we're at
Baltimore,
Baltimore,
and then
the
back
Jays
to the
back in
Jays.
town.
That's a huge stretch after this
Yeah.
Rocks run.
Big AL East run coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be big time. It's gonna be big time. It'll be interesting to see how the series with the Rockies shapes up.
Yeah, because they are playing some good baseball.
Yeah, they're
They're
500 right
500,
now, but
yeah.
yeah, they got some interesting stories going on this year.
Like Trevor. Oh, Trevor story.
Busting him
raking. I think he's got like 12 homers as a rookie.
No big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean they got some guys that can really rake. They got a guy that can pitch, Chad Bettis, but I think he went today, so we'll miss him, thankfully.
Thank you.
But yeah, we got Price going for us Tuesday, and then Wright, and then old Clay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's time for Clay to rise. We'll see. I think we said that last week and the week before.
I'd like to see that.
And the week before that. And the week before that.
It is nice to have Price going in that Toronto series because Toronto's playing better baseball right now too.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
When they're not taking shots off their jaw from somebody.
Was that this week? Can we talk about that? Because that was amazing.
I think it was last week. But
Either
I
way.
was like, I mean, you never.
It might have been
get
right
that
after we finished the show, actually, if I recall.
that square shot.
Oh, man, that was one of the best non-combat sports punches I've ever seen.
Because baseball fights are usually kind of like
Right.
those fights you used to get in the schoolyard in 3rd grade.
Yeah,
There's
like-
a couple pushes and then everybody comes
Yeah,
in.
just a cloud of dust and the teacher intervenes. But yeah, I mean, what a great shot that was. It was a clean shot to the jaw.
that
Hats
kid's
off
been
to
in
him
some
for not.
scrapes.
He took it pretty well, though. I gotta say, like how you don't get laid out from a clean shot to the jaw like that.
Come on. You're a
pretty
grown
tough.
man. You can't go down with one blow.
It was a pretty clean shot.
He's not Iron Mike Tyson.
This is true.
But-
He did see him coming at least, so
Yeah.
helped him out a
Before
tad.
we sign off, I just really feel like this was just one of your best shows ever, and I think there's going to be a lot of people,
No
in the
question.
Twitterverse. So
It
where can
started
they
with
reach you?
Tarzan Boy and just went straight.
Where can they reach you on the
You can find me on
Twitterverse?
Twitter at Deehaas, Deehaas.
Yeah. So I think we're going to sign off out of here. You got anything to say to the peeps before we do?
Toodaloo, peeps.
Toodaloo, peeps. Thanks for listening to another edition of Red Sox Rap 360. He's Denny Harris. I'm Mike Conley. Thanks a lot, guys. Go Sox.
Go Sharks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.